What's going on? This is Lawrence with AMayes-ing Transportation LLC. Today, I'm going to give you an outlook and an overview of what a pilot escort driver, what their roles and responsibilities are, and just the overall look from the load from start to finish. I'm currently out here in Rockingham, North Carolina, about to take a load from here going up to Connecticut. This load is going to consist of roughly about 50 miles. We're leaving today. The guy is getting loaded, and what they're loading today is an actual pool, and I'll show you that later in the video. It's a pool that's going to be going up to Connecticut. So we're here at the loading dock just waiting to get loaded, and I'm just going to kind of explain everything that you guys will be going through, like I said, from start to finish, and just give you a better insight of what you'll be doing. This is going to consist of a lot. It's going to consist of putting on your equipment on your vehicle, loading that up and putting that stuff on. Also, it's going to consist of the actual road. So I'm going to get some shots and video of on the road in the chase position. Today I am going to be running the chase position, which is the position in the rear of the oversized load. So I'm going to get you some good video clips and kind of talk you through a couple things as we're going on up to Connecticut. I'm gonna kind of dip and dab into the lead position as well, because there is a lead escort driver on this particular load. But I'll just kind of explain to you what their role is, because you'll be doing both. You'll start off with chase, but you'll be doing both. Once you're comfortable with lead, you'll be doing that in no time. So it's best for me to just explain chase in depth, since you're going to be starting off in that position. Also, I'm going to be giving you guys the lingo. So the lingo is going to consist of how we talk to each other on the road with our CB radios, how we communicate, the things that we say, the different code words, or I guess you want to call it, what we call certain things and how we call it out and when we call it out. So I'm gonna give you that as well. That way you'll have a better understanding of how this goes and how this works. Like I've explained to you, it's very easy. Number one, if you can drive, and if you can be aware of your surroundings, which you do every day when you're in your own personal vehicle, in your own car, this job is going to be a piece of cake for you. It's a very relaxing job, but it's also a very high intensity job, and it can be very high intensity. So you do have to be on your P's and Q's at all times, because you are responsible for not only yourself, but you're responsible for that oversized load, and you're responsible for the other motorists around you that's going to be on the road with you in those times. So you're going to have to be aware of a lot of things at one time. But like I said, as long as you'll be able to understand and comprehend the actual road around you and what's going on around you, and I'm talking about in the front, the back, and on your sides, on both sides, if you're able to have that particular perspective of all four, then you're going to be fine. You're going to be just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and jump out the truck as I'm sitting here waiting on them to get loaded. And I'm going to show you a couple things as far as putting on our equipment from start, getting that put on, getting it all set up, getting the radio dialed in, and then going from there. And then I'll be back. And then after that, we'll probably go ahead and get on the road. I'm hoping soon. We've been sitting here for maybe about 20 minutes. But once we get started, we'll definitely get some footage of that and explain to you how that goes. All right, stay tuned. All right, guys, got everything put on. I'm just going to do a quick run around just to show you how your vehicle will look once you have all your equipment on and everything you will need to confidently and safely do a run. So we're going to start with our oversized sign. So it is required, and you'll learn this in the particular course that you're going to take. You have to have a oversized sign, oversized load sign in the front, and there's one in the rear as well. They have to be visible in the front and the rear of your vehicle. Now, this sign, I think, cost me roughly, I don't think any more than maybe $30, $40 for both. This particular sign, how I have it on here is I have magnets. So they go through a hole, and it's a magnet. So it's easy to remove when I'm not using it, and put on as a magnet when I am using. So that way I can convert my vehicle, my personal vehicle. This is not my personal vehicle, but If you have a personal vehicle, you can convert it over from load to load, and then once you're done, it'll go right back to normal. I'll swing around the rear here. Like I said, it's on the front and the rear, which is required. So it is on the rear as well. All right. Also, you have to have 2 flags. If you see those 2 red flags hanging, you have to have 2 red flags. They have to be, I forgot the dimensions, but they have to be right there at your light bar. As you can see, my light bar is at the top. If you can see at the top as well, I have my antenna that goes to my CB radio, and I have the 2 flags on each side of my light bar. They have to be angled at the angle that is now. I can't remember the exact angle, but I mean, they don't really check and see what angle it's at, but it does have to be angled. It cannot be hanging lateral position. It cannot be hanging down. It has to be angled up towards the sky at an angle. It cannot be angled straight up either. So it has to be roughly a little less than, I'm gonna say 90 degrees. All right, the light bar, those light bars, those flags, they were cheap. They were like $5 a piece or something like that. And I can actually provide you guys with the link of where I purchased those flags from, also with the Oversize. I actually picked those Oversize signs up at a truck stop. They have them at truck stops all over, including in Charlotte, North Carolina as well. But you can order those on Amazon, and there's a link, like I said, the website that I have, I can link you to that, and you can purchase those there as well. The light bar, that light bar is a multi-functional light bar. It is required that you have to have amber lights, which is the orange lights that you see going off right now. They cannot be white and orange. They cannot be all white. Of course, they cannot be blue or red. They have to be all amber light bar. This light bar I purchased on Amazon. Now this particular one, it comes with about I want to say maybe about 12 to 15 patterns. This is the pattern that I use the most, which gets people's attention on the road and lets them know that I'm coming down the road, or we're coming down the road as far as Oversize. But you can choose any pattern that you want to choose. Just make sure that that pattern is a good enough rotation that motorists can see from afar and up close as well. This particular light bar, like I said, I purchased on Amazon. It was $115. Now, this particular light bar you do not need. You do not have to have one this size. I forgot the length of this one. I believe it is 43 inches, I believe. They have some that's longer that will actually go across this whole the top of my truck. It can go across from one end to the other. They have some that long, but they also have ones that are smaller. If you have your personal vehicle, or if you have a sedan type vehicle and not a truck, you can actually have a smaller light bar, which those roughly cost about $35, $40, a lot cheaper. So whichever one you prefer to purchase or get, whatever suits your particular vehicle, I do recommend that you get one that, you know, suits your vehicle, that suits the style that you want. But like I said, they have to be amber lights. They cannot be white lights, blue lights, red lights, or a mixture. They have to be solid amber lights. I'll swing around front here. So this one, you see, it lights up on the ends as well. You know, like I said, also in the front. Okay. Forgive my sign. My sign, I actually have. My sign got stolen. My magnetic sign that would go right here on the side of the vehicle. So I had to, which this is fine. This they do not, you know, trip about it or give you a hassle about it. As long as you have a visible sign, it's one on this side and it's one on the other side. A visible sign that will say AMayes-ing Transportation LLC, Charlotte, North Carolina, and the phone number. Okay, as long as that is visible somewhere on your vehicle on both sides, I'm not going to say somewhere, but I'm going to say on both sides of your vehicle, then you are in compliance with DOT, Department of Transportation. Okay, but I will have, I reordered my magnetic signs that will go here, and they simply just stick on here, and they're magnetic, and then I remove them when I'm not using them. Now I will have those signs for your vehicle, so you won't have to worry about getting those, because your vehicle will have the display of once again, AMayes-ing Transportation LLC, Charlotte, North Carolina, and the phone number. So it will have that on your sign, which you will have on your side of your vehicle, on both sides, driver's side and passenger side of your vehicle. Okay. I'll show you the inside, which it's not much to see on the inside, but we have, let me turn this off. We have a radio. This is going to be the main thing you need for constant communication with your driver and with other escorts as well, and also with other truck drivers around you that are not a part of the load. You do sometimes communicate with them. It all depends, but hopefully on this load we might come across that. If not, then don't worry about it. It rarely happens, but it happens sometimes. But it's not much on you, it's much on the oversized truck driver. This radio is a Cobra 29 LTD Classic. This baby is amazing. No pun intended. It is actually the #1 CB radio that truckers use, and it's been around for years and years and years. Way before I was born, maybe before you were born. This has been the most reliable, most efficient and clear sounding CB radio they have out there. This radio cost me, I got the Chrome edition, so don't, if you can see, I got a Chrome microphone. I kind of just wanted mine to look really, really nice. So this edition is the Chrome edition. It was a little pricey. It was about $160, I believe. But they do have the classic edition. So this is the Chrome edition, as you can see at the top. But they do have the classic edition, which is just the standard one. And I think that roughly runs about $120, I believe, $130. I can also send you the link for that as well. This bad boy has a good range. You'll be more than happy, more than pleased with this, with the sound on it. There's a speaker on the back for your sound. You can purchase additional speaker if you want to have this speaker, somewhere else, like maybe up here in your visor or down here or around here somewhere. That's fine. You can do that, but I don't think you would necessarily need it. But yeah, so you will, this is mandatory. You will need this radio. This is how you communicate with your driver, with your other escort, and letting them know the necessary things that you would need to, for them to have a safe trip on your load. As you can see, I'm packed and ready to go. I have extra flags, extra bungee cords, just in case. There are other things that you would need in your vehicle as well. I'm not going to talk about those on this particular load, but you will learn that in your course. In your course, you will learn that you will need several things in your vehicle: fire hydrant, first aid kit. You will need stop slow sign. You will need hard hat, safety vest, an extra walkie-talkie or extra CB radio, just in case the one that you have, God forbids, if it breaks down or something goes wrong with it, you will need one to replace right there on the fly. There are other things that you will need. There's a list of it, but those will need to be stored in your vehicle as well, and that will have you in compliance with DOT. Some things are not required for you to have, but it's always good to have in your vehicle. Cones, those there are cones that you would need in your vehicle as well. Those cones are used for when you stop. Let's say your load stops for the day, and that truck driver, the oversized truck driver, needs to park. Let's say it's not at a truck stop. Let's say he parks on the side of the highway or somewhere that's, you know, that's not a particular parking space, but you know, he's too big or too wide to be in a parking space, and he needs to park on a side road or somewhere like that. Well, those cones are used to put around him as a perimeter, so when you have other motorists or vehicles that may come near him or be driving by near him, they'll see those cones and know that, you know, there's a certain amount of feet or a certain amount of space that they have to get around that particular oversized 18-wheeler. So those are good to have as well. But yeah, we won't go into depth with that today, because we probably won't need any of that stuff today. But I just want to give you guys just the basics and the overall structure of how this goes and what you'll be doing, so you'll know exactly from start to finish what you'll be getting yourself into. All right, guys, as you can see, we're about to pull off. That's the driver. He's taking pictures of his load, his truck. Those are for his company. As you can see over there, that little red car, and he's got in front of him now, but that's the front escort. I'm in the back, chase position. Swing out, have a look at the whole load itself. $16 wide pool, front escort, my driver, and me in the back. All right, guys, as you can see, we're rolling. We're currently in Virginia right now. I am currently in the chase position, which is in the back, in the rear of the oversized truck. As you can see, I'm keeping a good distance between us, not too much, but not too much and not too far away, but not too close up either. This is literally probably a good space of one car probably could fit in this space in between us. But it's our job not to allow or let a vehicle come in between me and the truck. Right now, we're currently in lane 1, which is the fast lane, or also known as the fast lane, lane 1. And the lane over to the right is lane 2, and so on and so forth. So if you have other lanes, you have those will be 3 and 4 and so on, all the way over to the right. So this is currently lane 1. Like I explained earlier, my responsibility is to make sure that if anything is coming up, other than you know, sedans or what we call those 4s, because they're 4 wheels, so we call them a 4. Those we don't really call out. Those are small vehicles, so we don't really call those out. But anything like an 18-wheeler, if it is an 18-wheeler coming behind me, I will let him know on the radio and basically just call it out and say 18 up. That's as simple as that, 18 up. I will usually let him know, and that way he'll have time to correct himself, or he'll have time to get over, or whatever he needs to do to make sure that him and that other 18-wheeler does not sideswipe each other or collide. As you see that 4 going on, coming down or coming up lane 2, I don't call those out. We don't call those out. Those are, you know, small vehicles. We don't need to say anything about those unless they are doing something crazy, driving really fast, erratic, you know, just something crazy that might affect the truck. You know, if that happens, then yeah, I definitely will give him a heads up and just basically say, hey, watch out for this 4 coming up on your right. Usually I give a description, so in that case, that car is a white car, so I'll say, hey, watch out for this white car, or the make of car. I'm not sure what type of car that was, but if it's a Chevy, I'll say, watch out for this white Chevy or white Malibu on your right, just to give them a heads up. I'm trying to see if we can capture an 18 or something, but we're in lane 1, so it's not really going to be an 18 coming up. This truck beside me right here, the Ryder truck, this box truck, that's a 6-wheeler. So we usually say that that's a 6-wheel or box truck. And we'll call that out as well. This one right here to the right, it's a 4, and it has a trailer on the back. So we'll usually say, we'll call it out and say, hey, a 4 and a tag. So if that car, or those two were passing us, I will call those out. So for instance, that Ryder box truck that we pass, I'll say 6 box truck up, and let him know, you know, that's a big truck. So we want to make sure he's aware of that vehicle as well. And then that last vehicle, the truck with the trailer on the back, we'll just say 4 and a tag, and we'll let him know that 4 and a tag was coming up. Oh, this is a good one too as well. Camper, RV, I should say, RV, and it has a tag on the back, which is a trailer, or it's pulling a trailer back there. So I'll call that out too. Those are big vehicles. We call those out. If that, like I said, if they were passing us, we're passing them, so we don't have to call it out. But if they were passing us, so I would say RV and it's pulling the trailer or pulling the tag, RV and the tag up. So if that vehicle was passing, oh, there's an 18. We're getting all of them today. So there's an 18. If that 18 was passing us, once again, we'll say 18 up. But like I said, we're rolling today, so we're passing all these vehicles instead of letting them pass us. So we're rolling on up to Connecticut. Not sure if we'll make it there today. Possibly tomorrow at the latest. But as you see, this is what we do. I'm back here just making sure I'm aware of my surroundings, making sure I'm constantly looking in my rearview mirror to see what's coming up. Also, that you can't see them, but the like I explained earlier, there's a front escort up there in the front, and it's his job to let us know what's up there. So let's say if there was something on this left shoulder over here, to the left of us, maybe a broken down vehicle, which I doubt a vehicle will break down over there because it's so small and tiny. They'll go over to the right, to the emergency lane over there, to the right shoulder. If something was coming up, or over there in that lane, or over there on the shoulder, it is the front escort, which is the lead position. It is their job to let us know. That way we can switch lanes, get in another lane, so we don't end up sideswiping whatever's on that shoulder. So that's their job. Their job is also to lead the load. You know, they're supposed to know the route. They're supposed to know exactly where we're going, what turns we're making, you know, all that good stuff. So that's their job. They you know, lead us to where we're going. They let us know where we're going. And if we're getting off any exits or anything like that, you know, they tell us, hey, we're getting off on exit such and such. They give us a heads up, so that way we can get in the correct lane to make sure we don't miss that exit. So that's their job as well. But yep, this is the chase position as of right now. I don't have any footage of. If I can try to get some, I'll make sure I get some. But yep, this is it. This is how we roll. So yeah, I'll try to get some more footage. All right. Up. Guys, we are coming to a stop for tonight. It is 7:45. We are in Pennsylvania. I forgot what city or town we're in. We're not far from the New York state line. In certain states, you're able to run until sunset, and then based on the driver as well, he may want to stop earlier or something like that, because it's kind of hard finding truck stops with parking spaces for oversized trucks at this time of night, because usually those truck drivers, they get in there and they get their parking space and it gets full pretty quick. So oversized trucks usually don't have much room or any spaces to park. So we're gonna try our luck here and see if we can find some parking and stop for the night. At the end of the night, usually, like I told you guys, we write down our miles, what time we stopped, where we stopped at, and we take everything off of our vehicles, because we're not allowed to, once we're done with the load, we're not allowed to ride around with our oversized signs, our amber lights on, anything like that, if we're not on the load. So we had to take that stuff off here. Like I said, we're at this truck stop. We're at the Petro here, and I'm not sure where we at, somewhere in Pennsylvania. But what's happening now is that the front escort driver, he is going back there to look for some parking for our oversized truck. So me and the oversized truck, we're just sitting here until our lead escort driver lets us know what he can find back there. So this is the end of the night for today, and we'll reconvene in the morning. I'm not sure exactly what time we leave out tomorrow, but this is going to be a good one for you guys to see too, because we're going to have police escorts in the state of Connecticut all the way to our drop. So they're going to be assisting us with escorting us to our drop. So I'll get footage of that, or try to get footage of that tomorrow, and that way you can see that. Some states require it, depending on, you know, how big the load is and all that good stuff. So this will be a good one for you guys to see, because it doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen where you have to wait for a police escort. And we actually going across the bridge tomorrow, so I'll try to get footage of all that good stuff tomorrow, and then we'll be finished up at some point before or by afternoon tomorrow with the drop, and I'll get footage of that as well, and we'll be wrapped up for this particular load. All right, everybody, as you see, we have finished up the load. We have reached Connecticut. They are unloading the pool. I had to take it all the way up there. You can see all the way up there. So this is the end. This is what you all look forward to at the end. Is unloading and getting up out of here. We made it.